See, the board nestles in there pretty tightly, and there's not a lot. You know, we got to be very careful we don't rip things around on here. You know, this it's a goofy arrangement that Sony has. You can see how buried the fuses are in there. You know, they fused the board and made it ridiculously hard to get to that, but I want to check them for continuity too, because sometimes they can appear to be good and they're not. And I've heard horror stories about having just a fuse problem is partial to what's causing is part of what's causing distortion. So I'm going to go ahead and check that, and then I'm going to heat up get our desoldering iron, and we're going to get on the, I think, C708, 707 are the issues over here in some of my research with the 7065 Sonys. Those two capacitors and the C7, I think it's C708. I'll have to no, the C805 and the C806 over there. So I'm going to start on this end here and try to get them carefully removed without wrecking the board and stuff. So here we go. I'm inspecting the board to make sure there's no issues. There's a couple sketchy spots on here, so I'm going to make sure to retouch some of these connections and just make sure we're making good contact. Oftentimes that's the problem too. So everything's just heating up and getting ready to get underway here. Okay, there goes number one down. That's 6 million more to go, huh? Woo! Try to clip your leads. We don't want any shorts there. Okay. I'm putting equivalents in 330 microfarad, 25 volts. I think I've got 35 volts here, so I'm not sure if I'll need any more because this is really my last stock one here. But it's okay. We'll get her done. Get the new one in position and let's get her soldered off. I'm trying to kind of get that upside down a little bit. I don't want the solder to flow across anything, but I'm very restricted in my operating scope here. And I'm not going to go through removing the whole, tearing down the whole thing and unwinding. You know, these are all wire wrapped connections on here, taking all the time. I mean, I've got the you know, I've got all the wire wrapping tools and stuff, you know, for removing wire wrapping, but I just want to try to make this as simple as possible. Not just turn into a long drawn out affair. So onward and upward. It's going along pretty good. About 70% done the board here. So just about 15 more minutes and we should be good to go here. We'll see if we get any difference.
Tenemos que conocer los negocios y los tenemos
Well, got the recap.
No para ser políticos, pero para la...
Got the recap done here, and I have to say it does sound a bit better. The sound quality is much improved, but obviously we've not completed the job, so we're going to have to go ahead and do some more recapping too in some other areas. So I'm also going to do some voltage testing over here on the amp board too, and just to see if we have maybe a resistor that's mucking up, or maybe a transistor. So I was just sneaking out to the shop tonight to do just a little more testing voltages here on the amp board, and I did notice that you know, I didn't do as close of an inspection as I should have done on this board. Don't know how well you can see, but right in here, I'm gonna see if I can put the magnifying glass on it. Do 5 things at once here. Maybe you'll be able to see that. I don't know. But when I shake the big resistor, and of course the big resistors, power resistors, 5 watts, are the ones that tend to come off of the board because of heat and other stuff, and I'm shaking this one back and forth. I think I've kind of lost the location now, but oh, here it is, right here. Yeah, right up here. That thing isn't even making good contact. That thing has just got a totally, you know, it's just heating up. Maybe it makes a little contact and stuff, so it's important to go around and until you touch up all of these connections. It's these little efforts I've made today really have done a lot to clean up the sound, but we still have a way to go, that's for sure, on here, but I'm pretty happy.
Shopping rewards partner of the Golden State.
Still seems to be a little bit affected down on the bass notes there, so we'll have to figure that out. We don't have distortion, you know, it's complicated, you know, but I did have a chance to come through and touch up, and I did catch that big heat resistor there. You can see that big boy down on the board. That's a big 5 watt. That takes a lot of punishment. That thing gets really hot. So with the heating and cooling, contracting and expanding, it's not unusual that it has some problems sometimes. The next thing I'm going to look at too is this particular area over here. This area with all the diodes to the power transformer. This is another area here. You can see not the electrolytics, but the ceramic caps down there are known to go bad too, so I'm probably going to have to go ahead and try replacing them in the pathway too. So yep, more work to do. Thanks for being along.